Two murder investigations from the case files of Detective Rod Demery. First, gunshots ring out at a crowded high school, leaving a popular teen in critical condition.
She's literally hanging on by a thread.
You're gonna be all right.
Why would someone want to target this particular teenager? Oh, wow.
This is potentially a gold mine for Detective Demery.
At this point, the chase is on. If he gets away now, we can lose him forever.
Then, a fatal shootout and a claim of self-defense that just doesn't add up.
It's a hell of a lot of shell casings.
Officers know a genuine crime scene from one that may be staged.
There are a lot of red flags here.
How did that happen?
I was scared for my life, man.
Murder and me, we go way back. When I was a child, murder took my mother. Years later, it came for my brother. That's when I found my mission in life. Every case I worked, I solved. Every case I solved, I got a confession. I'm Detective Rod Demery. I didn't choose murder. Murder chose me.
It's about 8 o'clock. And the last bell rings for the students to go to class at Booker T. Washington High School.
Guys, you doing all right? Doing good? All right.
Officer Ross, who's the school resource officer, is in the school. When he hears something a school resource officer never wants to hear.
Move. Lock the door. Do it now.
But for Officer Ross, this is kind of like the unthinkable.
Go, move. Call the ambulance.
A horrific moment, like, oh no, not here, not us.
When Officer Ross gets outside, he sees mass chaos, and there's no sign of a shooter anywhere.
Help! Help!
What happened?
She's been shot.
Officer Ross finds the victim laying on the ground, and there is blood soaking through her clothes. She's literally hanging on by a thread.
You're gonna be all right. Dispatch, I'm gonna need an ambulance to the front of the school for a student that's down, please. Keep talking to me. You're gonna be all right.
In December 2009, really early in the morning, I just finished firearms training. I got a call from dispatch.
This is Demery.
They told me that there was a shooting at a high school. Not a whole lot of details, but someone had been shot.
I'm on my way.
My first thought is, was there an active shooter? Was the person still there? It was a huge concern. If there's a potential active shooter, all hands are on deck. Everybody that's available is gonna be there. It's a sad normalcy that school shootings are so common now. The place where you expect your children to learn and be cared for has become dangerous.
Please tell us something!
When I arrive at the scene, it's really intense.
I think over the last decades, the American public has become kind of desensitized to school shootings. They're more prevalent, and it's on the news for a hot minute, and then it's gone. And 2 or 3 weeks later, you hear about another one.
Where's my son? Where's my son?
It's sad to say that those kind of incidents have become somewhat normal in everyday life.
My daughter. Are they safe?
We'll get you guys some information soon.
There are parents that come into the school, they're looking for their children. They want to make sure that their child is not hurt. There's chaos.
We'll get you as much information when we have it.
Hey, so what's the status?
Well, we got school on lockdown.
Lockdown is nothing more than a containment of a scene. No one comes in or no one leaves.
We've determined that the shooter's not on scene.
Now you can breathe easier. You know that there's no active shooter there. Whoever's responsible left.
Anybody hurt? Yeah, there's a female student named Tracy. She was shot about 6 times. EMT's got her on the way to the hospital. Doesn't look like she's gonna make it.
18-year-old Tracy Simmons. She's about to finish out high school and face the world head on. She's bubbly, she's always surrounded by friends.
Okay, where'd the shooting take place?
It's down here underneath the awning there as you go in the entrance.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
As I start to investigate the crime scene, there's blood on the concrete on the sidewalk, and 6 markers where 6 shell casings were found from a 9mm pistol.
This all the shell casings?
Yes.
The fact that the shell casings were concentrated in one area suggests that this was an intended target. There was no randomness. There was no sense of someone shooting as many people as possible.
That means investigators aren't looking for some crazy person. They're looking for someone that has a beef with Tracy.
So what are the students saying? Anybody see this thing go down?
They're inside talking to them now, find out what they know.
Is there a school resource officer on duty?
Officer Ross, he's inside.
All right, if anybody needs me, I'll be inside.
Yes, sir.
So my question now is, why would someone want to target a teenager in high school?
How you doing?
Still a little shaken up. It's hard to believe that I got somebody hurt on my watch.
These school resource officers, they have plans in place for school shootings, but when it actually happens, it's never quite like you've practiced.
You get a look at the shooter?
I didn't get a good look at anybody in the parking lot other than this white Chevy. Kind of tore through the parking lot about the time I made it up to the victim.
It's unclear if this car is involved. This could be someone that actually fired the shots trying to flee the scene, or it could be somebody that was trying to get away because they didn't want to be hurt.
Were you able to catch the plate?
Didn't get a look at the license plate either. We do have video surveillance from the school that might have caught something.
All right. Do me a favor. Would you get that video gathered up and send it down to the station?
Be more than happy to take care of it.
All right, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, Detective.
Yeah.
We have someone down in the gym we think you need to talk to.
One of the officers on the scene has a potential witness. Carolyn Sinclair seems to be very upset, so the officer leads me to her.
Hey, I'm Detective Demery.
Hi.
Can you tell me what happened?
It was so horrible. I heard shots and screaming.
Okay.
And then I saw Tracy lying there, bleeding.
Did you see the shooter?
I didn't see who shot Tracy. But yesterday, there was this guy hanging around right near school.
Okay.
He didn't look like a student or a teacher.
Carolyn explained that this person looked a bit older and didn't appear to be a parent, just didn't have a good feeling about him.
Can you remember anything else about this guy?
I saw that he was driving a white car. I think it was a Chevy.
White Chevy. Okay.
So now we have another person mentioning a white Chevy.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Investigation is all about corroboration. So the surveillance becomes even more important. Back at the station, I start scrolling through the surveillance footage. It doesn't take long for me to spot it. I see the same white Chevy. It's in the same drop-off area. The video shows the victim pulling up, and as she gets out of the vehicle, you see the person that was driving the white Chevy exit the vehicle. He walks up directly to the victim, firing shots. Video surveillance has always been a valuable tool, but it's always disturbing to see an actual shooting take place. But on this video, I can actually see the license plate. It's valuable.
Detective Emery.
Yeah.
We just received a call from the hospital. It's the victim's family. They're demanding to know what we're doing about the shooting.
All right. Do me a favor. Run this plate. Let me know who that car's registered to.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Getting the license plate number is golden. I'm going to be able to find out who this vehicle belongs to. When I arrive at the hospital, I meet with the trauma doctor.
She's in surgery right now. We're doing everything we can for her, but it's not looking good.
He tells me Tracy's been shot 6 times in the torso. That's usually always fatal.
Mrs. Simmons, I'm Detective Demery.
I don't get it. Who would want to kill my baby? I don't understand this.
Tell me something. Was Tracy having any problems with anyone at school? Fights, arguments, anything like that?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
Something did happen this morning, though, at home.
What was that?
She tells me that she received several calls,
Hello?
and every time she answered the call,
Hello?
the person on the other end hung up the phone.
It got on my nerves, but I didn't think about it until now.
Okay.
Now that she's gotten these mysterious phone calls, my natural thought is, how is this related? Is this person wanting to kill Tracy? I'm not gonna go home until I figure out what's happening.
I really need your help here. Now, what can you tell me about Tracy's boyfriend?
Get really dangerous really quickly.
I appreciate your help, all right?
I can't say that Tony is responsible for this, but he is starting to look like suspect one.
Detective Demery.
Yeah.
On that information that you wanted on that white Chevrolet.
Okay.
When I go back to the office, I find out the car is registered to Samantha Simpson.
Looks like she home with a gentleman named Tony Holden.
Tony Holden.
Tracy's mother and her best friend, Paige, both said the boyfriend's first name was Tony.
Sounds like we're getting somewhere now. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
This just got really interesting. Now I may be looking at a scorned lover scenario.
So you gotta wonder, was this the wife finding out?
Really?
Demery learns that has survived 6 gunshot wounds, mostly to her torso.
Tracy, how are you? I'm Detective Demery. Hoping you might be able to answer a few questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the person who shot her is probably all I needed to arrest Tony. But I want to know what made a 28-year-old married man come to a high school and shoot somebody's child.
Last week I had enough of it. And I broke up with him. That's when it got bad.
Okay. Listen to me. Don't talk about this anymore, okay? Your job is to get healthy.
Before he shoots someone else.
Officer Scott, a police officer who patrols on a motorcycle, spots who he thinks is Tony Holden.
Hey, Tony.
Up an embankment, down onto the railroad tracks.
Tango 6, I can't continue. I've lost him at the railroad tracks. He's going eastbound.
Tony's reckless. He's running for his life. He's willing to do anything. Clearly about anything other than getting away now.
Hands in the air! Turn around, face away from us.
Mr. Holden, you and I are gonna have a little chat.
Detective Demery gets Tony Holden in the interview and interrogation room. And he starts talking about the relationship between Tony and Tracy.
What happened, Tony? Take your time and tell me what happened. I was trying to talk to her. You see how this girl talking to me, don't do nobody like this.
Tony explained that the night before he shot Tracy, that he called her and that she humiliated him and said that she didn't want him and said really mean things about him.
But had feelings involved in everything, right? And I couldn't let go.
My first impression of Tony is that he's a weasel. He wants to appear as if though he's been the victim. He's hurt, he's brokenhearted, he wants sympathy.
I lost everything I had due to her. My wife and Carter's dead. I lost everything I had.
I think in my entire police career, the hardest thing to do was to sit across from Tony Holden and listen on how an adolescent teenager broke his heart.
How long have you and her been sleeping together? Ever since February of 2007.
Tony tells me that the relationship dates back 3 years, which is of particular interest to me because that would make her 15 at the time. It's against the law for an adult to have sex with a child. I'm encouraging Tony to tell me everything that I need to know to put him in prison.
What happened today? Did you take her to school or did you just meet her up there? What happened? I had met her up there. And when she ignored me, it made me feel low, like I'm not nothing or nobody. What was she thinking? Your intent was to...
Look, it's not.
Let
Tracy,
go
please,
of me.
don't do me like this.
Tony, we're over.
As she started to pull away, Tony became possessive. He didn't want to let her go. he began to call.
Hello? Hello?
He'd hang up all the time.
Tracy, we gotta get going. Tracy! Hello? Let's go!
He'd show up at her school.
All right, you have a good day, okay? Don't forget that you're getting a ride home with Danielle's mom.
Love you.
Love you too.
Finally, he got to a point where he waited for her to get out of a car.
And she knows immediately this is all bad.
As he shot her and she ran, he followed her and chased her and shot her even more. When he ran out of bullets, he gets in his car and he leaves. After he leads police on a chase and comes in and confesses the whole scenario. It was mind-blowing.
The doctors cleared you to go home today.
No, I can't.
Come on, let's go.
wait.
Tracy showed incredible strength with her will to live. She fought through that, and she is alive today.